डॉक्टर बाबासाहेब आंबेडकर ओपन यूनिवर्सिटी.
Namaskar dear students, myself Zeel Sagar Shah, working as an assistant professor in School of Computer Science of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Open University. Welcome to the Chaitanya studio. In the last lecture, we have studied about the operators and manipulators in C++. Currently, we are in the lecture series of object-oriented programming using C++, and in that we are in Block 2, Unit 5, that is Decision and Control Structures. In this, we will study about the decision-making statements, loops, unconditional branching statements. So, in today's lecture, we are going to learn about two things, that is decision-making statements and types of decision-making statements, that is if and switch. What is decision-making? Decision-making is about deciding the order of execution of statements based on certain conditions, or repeat a group of statements until certain specified conditions are met. Let's see decision-making statements. C++ uses the following decision-making statements. First is if statement and second is switch statement. So, there are different forms of if statement in C++. That is simple if else, nested if else, and else if ladder. So, first of all, we will see simple if in detail. The simple if statement is the simplest decision making statement. It allows the execution of a block of a code if the given condition is true. The body of the if condition is executed only if the condition is true. Now let's see the syntax of if condition. That is, first of all, if, that is if is a keyword, and condition which are applicable to the statement, and then the group of statements which are available in if condition will be executed. Let's see one example. If age is more than 55, then person is retired. So what is the flow chart of if statement? First of all, the flow chart will start. After that, it will test the condition. If it is true, then the statement is executed. Otherwise, it will go out of the execution. That is control flow. Now let's see one simple program of simple if statement. First of all, we will include iostring. After that, using namespace std in int main, we will write one variable age, and we will compare that if age is greater than 18, then we will display allowed to vote in our program. So whenever I execute this program, what I will get as my output, that is it is allowed to vote, because the variable age is equal to 19 and 19 is greater than 18. So it is allowed to vote will be displayed in our whenever we run this program. Now let's see if-else statement. If-else statement is allow us to make a decision based on the evaluation of a given statements. If the given statement is true, then the code inside the if block is executed, and in the case the condition is false, then the code inside the else block will be executed. Now let's see syntax of if-else statement. First, condition will be checked, and if it is true, then if block is executed and the statements inside the if block will be executed. And if the statement is false, then it will go in the else block. Let's see one smaller example. If age is more than 55, then person is retired. Otherwise, person is a regular employee. In the flowchart of if-else statement, if we look into it, then first of all, when we enter in this flowchart, it will test our condition that it is true or false. If it is true, then if code is executed, and if it is false, the condition is false, then the else code will be executed. Now let's see one simple program of simple if-else statement. First of all, in the last slide we have seen that first of all we have taken int age, and we will ask the user to enter his age. If his age is greater than 18, then the output we will get is allowed to vote. Otherwise, in else block it will show to me that not allowed to vote. Now let's see the output. When we run this program, what will we get? First of all, when I enter 15, then the else block will be executed, that is not allowed to vote. And when I enter 19, then if block is executed, so we will get allowed to vote in our output. Now let's see nested if else statement. The nested if else statement is a conditional statement. As you can see, inside if, again there is an if else block. Also inside the else part, again we have written if else block. So we can write the conditions under the conditions block. It depends on our program that what will we be using. We can write if else up to any nested level. This is supported by C++. In some cases, we need to write nested conditional statements like this, and most of the time it happens to be inside the else block rather than the if block. Then what will we use? We will use this type of conditional statement in our program. Now let's see syntax of nested if else statement. First we will check condition is true or not. If it is true, then if block will be executed. In that, another condition is applied, that is this condition true, then this if will be executed. Otherwise, it will go to the else block and else will be executed. After that, again else will come. This else is of first if condition, that if that first condition is false, then this else will be executed. If condition is true, then this will be executed. Otherwise, else block will be executed, that is line 4. And how this works, let's see our flow chart. First, it will compare that is this condition true or not. If it is true, then true block will be executed, and in that we have again condition applied, and in that we will again compare that is it true or not. If it is true, then line 1 will be executed, otherwise line 2 will be executed. Simultaneously in false block, that is in else block, if we write one condition that is it true or false, if it is true, then it will go in the if block, and if it is false, then it will go in the else block. Now let's see one program of nested if else statement. First of all, we will include IOStream. After that, in void main, we will write int number, that is initialize one number and ask our user to enter an integer, and after that we will see in number, if number, this is the outer if condition. If number is not equal to 0, then it will go in this block, and if number is greater than 0, the number is positive, else the number is negative. So this is the inner else condition. And what is the outer else condition? That is the number is neither positive nor negative, because it is a 0. Now let's see this. Let's see the output of this program. First, I have entered one integer, then the number is positive, and it will go in the first inner if condition, and if I enter -1, then inner else condition will be executed, that is the number is negative, and if I enter 0, the outer else condition will be true, and thus we will get the number is 0 and it is neither positive nor negative. Now let's see else if ladder. Else if ladder is an extension of if else condition, that is nested if else condition, and that's why it is known as else if ladder. If we have more than one nested if, then it can be easily framed like if else ladder. This is very easy for writing, otherwise too many nested if will create confusion for a programmer, and even the code not be easily readable. So let's us see how we can frame the else if ladder for nested if. First of all, we will see the syntax of else if ladder. First if, and then condition, and else if condition, and then statement 2, else if condition 3. So rather than using nested if we have too many conditions in one program, then else if ladder will be used. And then else statement, which is the default, which we can call as the default statement in else if ladder, and in that default statement will be executed. So let's see first else if ladder flowchart. Okay, so this is if else ladder. First is if condition is checked. If condition will true, then if block will be executed. Second is the if else condition. If the first condition is fails, then this if else block will be executed. And instead of writing this condition nested, we have written that condition in if else. And third, again, if the if else condition of the previous one is not satisfied, then condition 3 will be executed, and likewise the fourth. And if any of these statements will not be executed, then else statement will be executed. So let's see one example of nested if, that is else if ladder program. First we will include iostream using namespace std in int main. We will initialize one variable, that is a, and we will ask user to enter the value of a. And if the user will enter a as 10, then first condition, that is if a is equal to 10. Over here we have, as you can see, we have used relational operators because we are comparing that a is equal to 10. So now you can get the idea how our operators work in C++, where we use our operators in C++. So if a is equal to 10, then this if block will be executed, that is a is 10. Else if user will write a is equal to 15, then this else if block will be executed, that is a is 15. Else if a equal to 20, then this will be executed. And in the, if any of this statement will not be executed, then the else block will be executed, that is a is not present. Let's see output of this. Enter age 15, not allowed, that is a is equal to 15. And let's see one last topic, that is switch statement. Switch statement is mainly used to replace multiple if else if statements. The if else statement causes performance degradation as several conditions need to be evaluated before a particular condition is satisfied. The expression value must be always executed. The expression to be tested comes after the switch statement, and it can be a variable, expression, or any of the result of a function. The keyword case is followed by an integer or character constant. Every case constant terminates with a colon operator, and it will check that this is right or not. Let's see a syntax of switch statement. First, the expression will be there in switch, and after that case constant 1. If this case is true, then this block will be executed, otherwise break will be when it finds the break, the statement control jumps to the next block of the statement. While studying unconditional statements in the next lecture, we will be able to learn about the break statement elaborately. If expression was not equal to constant 1, it will be checked against constant 2. It is equal to this. And finally, if the value of expression did not match any of the previous specified constants, then the program will be execute the default statement, that is statements included after the default keyword, that is case constant 2, statements, and break. And default, if default is not compulsory, it is optional in switch case. Now let's see one small example of switch case. Using namespace std, in int we have taken one integer, enter a number, and in that switch number. Case 20, it is 20. Case 30, it is 30, and break. Case 40, it is 40. So let's see. Just in the default we will when I run this program, enter a number. If I write 20, then I will get it is 20. If I write 90, then it will go in the default state, that is not 20, 30 or 40. So thank you for hearing this lecture. In the next lecture we will continue this unit. Thank you.